Hey guys, look at this. Do you see what I see? It's an empty craft table. Isn't this exciting? Yes. So I finished that last project and I got everything all cleaned up and tidied up. I think this needs some messing up, don't you think? Yeah. So today I'm going to share with you what I have found on some of my more recent thrift trips. So we're doing a thrift haul today. So what do you guys say we get this table all filled up and I will share with you all the fun little goodies that I have found. So go get yourselves comfy or get yourselves crafty and I will share with you right after this. I hope I didn't scare you all with that picture of a clean desk because I know it can be somewhat of a mythical idea, like seeing Sasquatch in the wild, a clean craft desk. So I hope nobody had heart palpitations or something. It does happen from time to time. It really does happen. I know I promised this thrift haul after I did the flip through of the adventure journal, but I was a little behind doing the Roxy's Weekly Creations challenges, and so I decided to go ahead and air that one first. So here's a thrift haul that I promised you. Also, as you know, when I was working on my idea book and ran out of room, I kind of got stumped. I've been looking for ring binder style cookbooks or gardening books or something so that I could continue on working in my idea book and then using those pages that I had already cut up, because it just seems like a shame to not be able to use them. So the first one that I found was this. Isn't this just the cutest little cover? Let me tell you, apparently people have been doing another recent clean out, which I guess makes sense. I think a lot of people do at the end of the year or the beginning of the year, and so the thrift stores are usually the lucky recipients. This one just has really cute graphics, and I had taken one of the pages from the other one so I could match it up. So I know this one matches. It is not quite as deep as I would like, but it is cute. Then I have found a few more. And the first one I found, this one, I was really surprised. Oops, sorry. Really surprised to find it. This is the new Pillsbury Family Cookbook. Isn't that just the sweetest thing? Now, I have not seen this before. It is the right size. And I had recently given my daughter a cookbook, 1970s. No, yeah, it was the 70s version of the Betty Crocker cookbook, which I also found this, the Betty Crocker Microwave Cookbook. And I had been planning all that time to make a retro 70s inspired Christmas journal. I have all the stuff sitting in my closet. It's been sitting there, but then I gave her the cookbook for that. So I saw this, and I think this would be a great substitute. I have heard of this cookbook, but I have never actually seen one anywhere. So that was kind of a nice discovery. But they're very much the same as the Betty Crocker, or this one is more like a Better Homes and Gardens with the pages, the way the pages are and the sizes and all the dividers. This one, being the Betty Crocker, is more like my Betty Crocker one, which just has a little bit wider and taller pages. And it looks like this one never got used, because look, here's all the file folders in the back. Oh my goodness, and coupons. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Wow, somebody had this thing and never used it. I wonder if it was like a wedding gift or something. This is in nice condition. Mint condition. Lucky me. So, yeah, very fun. So I've got these two that I was just delighted to find. And then I have this one, and I picked it because of the canning images on the front. I was hoping the pages were something that I could actually use. I kind of had an idea in mind. They're not quite what I was thinking of, but they will work. It comes with this cute little notepad in the front cover, and then has these little divider pages. So I might be able to, if I don't use this for another type of idea book or something, I might be able to turn this into a cooking journal and then do it similar to the one I did for my daughter, where I had these little page protectors and cute little recipe cards and things like that. So every single section has these in there. There's quite a few. Look at that. Extras at the back. So isn't that cool? Just really cute. Cute. And so these would make really cute just journal cards if I cut them down and back them. And so I really liked the design on that. Now it is so interesting to see, depending on where you go, because I found this one at St. Vincent de Paul. At St. Vincent de Paul, all of them are 99 cents regardless of the kind of book. And I also found this one there, just I was looking at it more for the size. I don't know. All these pages will become something. I do have cookbook recipe packs that I have assembled but not listed in my store. So since I have several of these cute pages now, I could add a few to those and list them. So give me a thumbs up and a comment below if you would be interested in that, because I do want to get them out there. I think they're really cute. They've got lots of vintagey cookbook and unique things in them, different recipe cards and things like that. So there's those two. I think I was going somewhere with my thought, but now I don't remember it. This one is a plants for the home. It has, I've been looking for one of these because I see other people use them. And this is the first time I found one. Oh, I was telling you the prices. Yeah, so this little guy I found at the youth ranch. And all of their hardbound and cookbooks are at $2.50. And I think the children's books are $1.50. But then all the books at St. Vincent de Paul are 99 cents. But then you saw this other one that I found at Savers. It's $4.99 at Savers, and Savers, I believe, is a companion to Value Village. If you live in a part of the country where they have Value Village, I think that's the same company. So all of these books are different prices. It's kind of crazy, crazy, crazy. So I have this whole thing, very exciting to go through, and I'll be making packs for these. I still have packs of those craft cards in my shop that are also very fun to create with. I found this. So these are at Deseret, and their books I think are just pretty much priced individually. I found this one in the office supply area. So this, I used a page or two from this one in the travel adventure journal, and so really nice pages. I basically just got it so that I could have 2-page spreads in a journal. I tore her pages out, but these are meant to be, these can be cut out. And in fact, I'm going to bookmark that page so I can find the middle again and start cutting the signatures out, because then they'll lay nicely in a journal as a 2-page spread with lines to write on, and that's why I look for those. This I found at St. Vincent de Paul, and it was in the arts and crafts, even though it's not an art and craft, but luckily it was, because, well, no, not luckily, because if it was just a book, I would have only paid 99 cents. But you guys are going to love this, and I've been toying with the idea of a wedding journal. Just one I'll make someday. This does not have a copyright or a publication date on it, but I would say this is probably from the 60s easily, because look at that. Look at all those beautiful pages. And I have a few things I have collected with a wedding theme, but won't that be pretty? A retro wedding journal. Just so beautiful, and it was never, again, never touched. This one has not been used at all. It just sat in a box from who knows when. And here, it's, see, it has all these original papers are with it. I'm wondering, okay, oh, and then it has these too. So you can take the numbers, and you were supposed to record your gifts and number them, and then that helped you keep your list, you know, of who gave you what, so you could write your thank you notes. But they've not even touched. So these are intact with it, and then I just kind of kept hoping it would tell me somewhere a date, but it doesn't. So slide those back in there. That was a very exciting find, and it's still in the box. Simulated leather. It's from the Gibson greeting card company. So isn't that beautiful? Love it, love it, love it. Here's a little cute Christmas book. I think I might already have one of these, or something similar that I could incorporate this into. I think the pages are stinking cute, and it's in really good shape, the pages. So I would use this for pages. So one thing I do is I mark, when I have an idea in mind, what I want to do with the book, whether I want to make a complete journal or not. Now, at 2 different stores, I found pretty much the complete series of Thomas Kincaid books. Isn't that great? I know I have another one I have taken apart. I've only used a few of the pages, but the beautiful artwork. I hope Thomas Kincaid Corporation never gets word of the fact that we like to take apart books, because I have a feeling they won't like us using them. But for now, I'm going to use them for journal pages. So that's the Seasons of Light. I think I might have another copy of that Christmas one, and I know I have one that's kind of an autumn theme that I put at least 1 or 2 pages in some autumn journals a couple years ago. Isn't that pretty? Also beautiful quotes and poetry, and you know, they're inspirational books, and he just did such beautiful work. He left us too soon. He really did. Just such an unusual look, and every time you look at one of his paintings, you just want to be there. And that for me is the mark of a great piece of artwork, is that when I look at it, do I want to be where that picture is? Do I want to be whatever in that place, whatever that picture is depicting? And with him, I can generally say yes. I'd like to be there, minus the snow though. But then it wouldn't be a Christmas book. But isn't that just so sweet? And now, you know, since I have a whole collection of them, I'm wondering if I really do want to tear them up, because I might just want to put them on my shelf to appreciate. This one was at St. Vincent de Paul, Watercolors for Everyone. And as I've recently discussed, watercolor books have some of the best illustrations to use and colored artwork. Looks good. I can't wait for watermelon season to come back around. That's my favorite snack in the summer when it's, you know, evening and I'm getting hungry. I can eat watermelon. It fills me up. It's got the crunchy aspect to it, but then I don't get fat from it. So it's a really wonderful snack. Now that is beautiful. That should be with those Thomas Kincaid paintings. So there's that one. Found a Read and Grow Bible. I like to find, let's see, this is from the 80s. I like to find Bibles that have pretty artwork, and this one's kind of in a comic book style, so a little bit different. And then both sides of the page, when you fold it into a journal, you can use both sides. They're both decorated, so it adds interest. Isn't that neat? I've not seen one quite like this. Very cool. Needs to be washed. And then this one, I Will Rejoice. This is Psalm 118 in kid form, you know, and I picked it because of the artwork. So I need to write pages in front of both of these. I don't want to write it where I can't use it, because look, isn't that pretty? Maybe I'll write it on this page. Yeah. I Will Rejoice. That would make a nice page title, wouldn't it? Pages. Oh, got a sneak peek there. Pages. Look it. I found a Kate Greenaway book. So I have one of the Youth Ranch locations is nearby me, and I go there because, especially when I look in the kids' books, I almost always find something amazing in with the children's books, and yesterday was no exception. Kate Greenaway, and you know, her artwork's been around so long that it is actually, it's reproduced a lot. So I think it's free, what's the word, where there's no copyright free, I think. All of her illustrations are from that time period that look like Jane Austen, you know, Emma, and from Pride and Prejudice, all of those. Sense and Sensibility. I don't know, I forgot. I read once upon a time when she was actually popular and when she actually produced her art, and I don't remember, but I don't remember if it was actually this time frame or if it was later and she just always drew this art of this time frame. So really pretty. Then I have a couple of books here that I bought, and you know, sometimes I just buy things because it's like calling me and I have no good reason to buy it. But I have these two that I found. And I had found this one once before along with this one. And I had this one and the sewing one listed in my shop. But again, it has kind of that 70s aspect, and I was really on a 70s kick there for a while. I remember somebody said something about one of these ladies. She used to have the top that one of these ladies wore. Last time I flipped through these, and I last flipped through these in one of my hauls early on this channel. So like 2018 or no, when was my channel? Oh, it was 3 years ago. Yeah, 2019. So. No, 2020, sorry. I can't do math in my head and talk about creative things. So I have this one, I have this So Exciting one. I remember the lady was wearing a halter top and a yellow bandana. Look, and here's, yeah, it was this one. And one of my commenters, one of my subbies commented that there she is, that she used to have an outfit very much like this. Isn't that the cutest? Yeah. Ooh, freebies. Mary's Cake. 6 cake mixes at 79 cents. Powdered sugar. Huh, interesting. I'll put that with my cooking girls. So I'm going to list these, is what I'm trying to tell you. But I wanted you to see how they look. When I list books like this, I can ship these media mail. Most things don't qualify, but you can send books, and so I can send those cheaper. The thing about media mail is you have to make 2 separate orders. You can't put it all in the same order because it's 2 shipping methods, and Etsy's system won't let you do that. So anyway, these will be in my shop. There you go. And if you're interested in buying all 3 for some reason, then message me first so that I can figure the shipping for you so it's not tripling your shipping on you. Next, let's see, let me put those away. I'll be right back. Next, I'm going to do some things in the office supply category. You know, you just find things everywhere you look, and I tend to look there a lot. So first I'm going to open this box of envelopes because it was taped shut. I don't need 500, but I do need security envelopes. You know, this is going to be like a lifetime supply. So I know the box wasn't full, but I couldn't peek in there. So look it, got a lifetime supply of envelopes. Hey, look at that. They've got blue checks. Oh, that's cool. Because you know, sometimes using the inner linings of these envelopes is really fun for crafting. So, there's those. That's almost full. Yeah, literally a lifetime supply of envelopes now. I'll never have to buy security envelopes again. And the reason why I wanted them is because envelopes in this day and age are hard to find that aren't flimsy. If you go to Walmart, like the paper's really cheap and they're not, the security lining, a lot of times they're not even lined. So when you do have things to mail, it's nice to have the privacy aspect. Now, at 2 different thrift stores, I found this book and then at a different one, this book. They're very similar, and I was looking for specifically gardening type things, and I've already taken this apart. But this, in this one, it had these pages where you can record for your, as if you were to garden. If you're a real gardener, you would be using this to record, but I think they'll make really great ephemera in journals. And plus that picture's cute, so when the book is empty, I can use this as a journal card, all on its own, pretty much. So there's that. I like the look of that. It's very botanical. And then this one has this. So this is the planting journal. And then this one was like for notating what you planted and noting the weather and the conditions and all that. So I found 2 of these, one in, you know, in 2 different stores, completely separate from one another, which I thought was interesting. But perfect for botanical journals. Okay, next, stickers. Also, I thought it might be kind of fun to recreate these for embellishments, but... And then I found these, which I love what this says. I'm going to bring it in because this is so perfect for us. Airmail, junk mail in that box, fan mail, and then this one is like regular mail, but I thought we could, you know, I could put a little sticker that says happy mail. So I thought that was so perfect for us with our junk journals and our happy mail shares and all of that. And I'm sure they're blank inside. But let's open this up. Just found this yesterday too. Really cute. Yeah, just blank. So cute. Cute pieces of ephemera. And then looks like just white dropping. White envelopes. Isn't that adorable? Blank recipe cards. These are just pretty. So they can go in gardening journals, cooking journals, the florals, botanicals. Really pretty. And then I found these. These are silverware holders, but I like the country look on them. So, got a little packet there. I already opened it because I needed to use a couple of them first. So, anyway. And then I am buying photo paper because I have a lot of pictures that I need to print off. And so because photo paper, I mean, I see it all the time in the thrift stores. Now, I didn't double check if this was glossy or matte, but it is the right size. I prefer a matte finish. And I had purchased, did I have another box down here? Nope, thought I did. Anyway, I know I had another one. Oh, maybe it's in this box over here. That definitely said matte paper. And I like the matte finish, but I'm stocking up on these a little bit because they are expensive, and I know I'm going to want to print out pictures. Writing tablet, which doesn't look like much on the front. Do you guys remember Western Family brand? Yeah, this is almost full, and the reason I picked it, I just glanced in there, but this isn't just your basic writing paper. It's like typing paper, and it has kind of a parchment look. So I thought it'd be really cool to tea dye or just to use as pretty pages. And it's a nice size. So when you fold it in half, it will fit into a regular size journal very nicely. I found these, so some for me, and I thought I would share some with you guys in my shop. And these they were meant to run through your printer, but they are the library cards. So you guys could do anything with these. You could decoupage napkin or tissue paper, or you could run them through your printer, like put your printables on them and take them apart. So cool. So some for me, and then I'll put some in the shop. I don't know how many are in this stack. Easily 25 or 30 or maybe even 50. I don't know. But anyway, I grabbed a couple because they're really cool and they have that ivory color. This was just a random piece of paper. I went to the reuse store because I was in the area last week, and so while I was there, because I was talking to you guys about wanting maps, I found this one. So this one can come apart, and then look what I found. And somebody else suggested going to AAA. You have to be a member, I think, to take their maps, but then it made me think that I could maybe go through my mom's closet, being as how she's a AAA member. She never gets rid of any of her maps, so she might have some of those big old atlases I'm looking for, but I have to keep an eye on her because she's lately been going through and getting rid of things that she shouldn't. So this is a street atlas. Now, I bought several books. I think she gave them to me for just a single price, and so this wasn't $3.50, it was less. But these are not glossy, they're just barely glossy, slightly glossy. If it was a paint on my wall, I would call it satin, satin finish. But they're also decorated on both sides. And since this is an atlas from 2000, I'm just going to take a reasonably educated guess. Oh, and look at all the beautiful indexy pages. And say that London probably doesn't look the same in 2023 as it did in 2000. Not completely anyway. So, feeling good about that. These were somewhere in somebody's bin. I don't remember which store, but I snagged them. 75 cents. This one's Eloise Wilkin. Had a little drawing on the front. I do want to do a journal about dogs and comparing it with God's faithfulness, because dogs are faithful, and using that as the theme. And then this one, which I have seen other people have, pictures are by Sharon Kane. Look at her beautiful artwork. Aren't they cute? So it's got little nursery rhymes and cute pictures. So cute. Gotta love those little golden books. This one, oh, I found two more. They were knitting magazines with baby images, but I have them set aside. They're not in the stack because I have something specific for them. So I'm sorry you won't see them. But here's the other one. I got this one for me, and this was in the 30s. And you can tell by their outfits and by their hairstyles. Isn't this beautiful? and this. There was a time, a day and age in my life, trying to get the glare off of it, when I could actually wear something like that and look cute, but not anymore. A long time ago. Before kids, BK. Isn't that cute? So I always like these for the pictures. So there's that. And then, okay, I have this. It's in a card box, but I have it with Textiles. Because it was sitting open, and truthfully, true confessions, I really just wanted the box. But I also, my eye had been drawn to this lace. And I really think that is the coolest lace. Really neat, not a lot of it, but it will be enough to edge something. And I saw that, and then I saw this really pretty pink rickrack with gold running through it, and then realized I have to buy the whole box. So I inspected it, and there are some blue things in here. These two seam bindings, that's fine, pretty colors. And then this little bit of hem lace. This looks like a navy blue seam binding. Ooh, and some elastic. Is that elastic? Nope. Looks like an elastic, but there's no stretch to it, so maybe it's just like black cord. Oh, okay, I can... This is not the seam binding. This is not bias tape either. Anyway, it's piping that you sew into your seams. Here's that one. I'm not really a big user of these kinds of things, the seam binding, but it was in the box. Teensy tiny bit of white. A thing, I don't know what it is, but it's very velvety. I think this is for, you iron it on and patch things. Very cool. A few little bits and bobs, as Margaret over at Seven Plaza says. Little pieces of things. I don't know what these are. They're interesting. And then these buttons, which I really don't need buttons, so luckily there were only 3 in there. They're definitely old. Look at that. And then other places, I also found gray, 2 different stores again. One is the lace, which I don't have gray much, but I like gray, and seam binding. And then just a zipper, because I think they're cool, and this one is definitely old. And Margaret, again, over at Seven Plaza, says she's going to try to figure out something to do with zippers. And when she does, I have a few zippers in my stash, so I am prepared. Okay, so there's that. Fabrics from all over the place. This one was $1.89. I didn't unroll it in the store very often. I do, and then I put it back. But look, I bought it because I could tell it had panels on it. Pretty, pretty. I'm going to go into my, I'm going to be entering my botanical phase. The botanical period of her art. And I think these would be really pretty in botanical journals. Just cut the panels apart and make pockets. They make a really pretty cover too. There's enough. And I also picked up this because I do have my laces, but they're mostly white and ecru. And this was a very soft pink. And there's quite a lot of it. So I think that would be nice too for layering up things. And then, oh, that's where I found those books. I went down to the Assistance League, and they clean everything. Love those ladies. It's run by volunteers. And they have the most lovely things all the time. And so I got all these fabrics, and they're all clean, you know. They clean them, they press them, they iron them. If things are dirty, they wash them. So I got all these really cool fabrics because I did recently go through my fabric stash and destash a bunch, and you know, you just get sick of looking at the same thing. So they always get the nicest little donations of fabric type things. There's that one. So all these with the orange tags are Assistance League, and that's where those 2 little golden books came from as well. And then these were in packs that I opened just before I brought them home. They were in the packages. I couldn't open them at the store, but I could tell by the colors I was interested, and these were from the Youth Ranch, I think. Isn't that pretty? And then there's this one. And that one. You know, you just get bored looking at the same stuff all the time. So we have a deep-seated need to create and to feed that inner dragon. This one's pretty. It also goes very nicely with some of those, which these were 2 separate trips, so I hadn't purchased one and then tried to match it or anything. And then somewhere, one of the thrift stores, I found these. They were all hanging together. And so I've taken them apart. Here's a doily. Isn't that pretty? That'll make a nice cover on a journal. This one is pretty, and it's just so basic. I really liked how plain it is, because then I can do pretty much anything I want with it, including wrap it around the outside of a journal. And this one, it's a little bit different design than some I found. So I have a lot of doilies. I think I could probably stop buying doilies now, but I don't know if that's going to be possible or not. I don't know if I can do that to myself. So from the reuse store, I found a splatter brush. This is the one you're supposed to use for splattering. I had found a paintbrush there before, and I didn't realize you need the fan if you want to like splatter paint on things. And so they had one. Wasn't that nice of them? This is $2. I don't think I paid $2. I think I paid less. Also found, did I find both of these there? I think I did. This one says that it is jigsaw. But what I was thinking is it would make a nice, gigantic edge for like big postage stamps. Like if you're making your own faux postage stamps, you don't have the postage stamp edge. I think this would work just as well. This one is a decal. I find this interesting because at another thrift store at a different time, I found this one. And if you look, these are not the same design. They're both Fiskars. This is the one that mine is. See? This is mine. So I don't know if they started with one and then changed it up. But I mean, mine are old. I got these in the 90s, so I'm thinking this was the original and maybe they changed it later. Regardless, these are going to be in my shop. So if you're looking for decals, I'm always looking. I really would love to find some postage stamp ones, and I try to test them out. Now, I wasn't able to. Need some paper to cut. Why is there no paper to cut? When you want it. Here we go. I'm going to pull out some junk mail. So we're going to test. If there's scrapbook paper that I know I'm going to buy, I usually try to test it. Test them in the store before I buy them, because there's no point in bringing stuff home. But this is for you guys. So I know that sometimes they're hard to find. So I've been looking. So there's that one. And what I love about decal is the only one you don't have to match up the pattern. So there's that decal. Now let's compare to this decal. This one's finer. Look at that. Huh. That's a little bitty. So there's bitty decal and then there's regular decal. Interesting. But they both have the brown. And anyway, there's that. Those will be in my shop. Give me a day or two after you see this so that I have time to get it all listed and photographed for you. Even though I don't really want to run my shop full time, I do, when I find interesting things, want to share them with you. So these will be in there, those plant cards will be in there, those books will be in there. And then I found laces and trims. So there's some pretty blue of these rosettes, which I love. Never can find, but I love them. I think they're at Hobby Lobby, but I literally never see them there. These were from the reuse store, so I knew I needed some flat. I wanted flatter, thin laces, because I know I'm out of those. They're really nice for trimming. This, I think, is more of a flat than a ruffle. I prefer not to have ruffles. Then I found these somewhere else, a different thrift store on a different day, but, you know, it was pretty cheap. Well, 89 cents, not super cheap, but cheap enough. That one and a blue one, so I have lots of blue lace now. Blue must be the color to discard in 2023. I don't know. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but things go in phases at the thrift stores. Then I found this cute, teeny tiny little pom-pom trim in hot pink. Then at the reuse store, they also had this washi tape, partially used, but I think it was like 5 cents. Something ridiculous. They're really, really cheap. So I took a chance on it because there's still enough left on that roll. That's more than you get sometimes when you order, you know, when you order from brand new rolls from China or whatever. I'll stick it on there for you. Isn't that pretty? So that will be that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but long ago, my father taught me this trick with the masking tape, so I do it with all my tapes. Fold a corner under, then you can pull it up. Okay, here you go. There's your little words of wisdom for the day. Cards. These all came in a pack, but I like that they have this flip out here. They're kind of a trifold. Really pretty designs, front and back. So there's whatever these are, I think gladiolas. Geraniums. I think I called them roses, but they were geraniums. I was thinking they were roses. These are sunflowers, the blue and yellow. See, they're pretty on all the sides. This one was pink poppies, pretty pretty. Foxglove, and I just love this color combination. I love pink and blue and white with a touch of yellow. I just think it's so pretty. Like this. Look at that. There we go. So I got those. Very pretty, very pretty. And I found some tissues. Probably came from the Dollar Tree. I don't know, but I found it at a thrift store, so I did not pay $1.12 or whatever for it. My new thing now is when I check and I know things are from the Dollar Tree, I'm like, I kind of call them out on stuff. I'm like, this only costs $1 brand new at the Dollar Tree. Maybe don't charge more than it actually costs in the first place. Anyway, most of the time I just walk on by. I picked these because I like the rose pattern. So I don't know if this will go in my crafting or in my supplies of gift wrap. It's really pretty. But I don't really see pretty tissue paper often anymore, so I just kind of grab it when I can. Okay, we got some gift wrap. This is an older one, you can tell. And you can even tell because this cellophane wrap, they don't even wrap things in this anymore, so I'm guessing this is probably from the 60s maybe? I mean, at least that's what that pattern is. Again, they never put copyright dates on gift wrap. So packaging is interesting, isn't it? It's like a paper sack on the back and cellophane on the front. Very cool. And then I had this one too that I found. It has little forest animals on it. Cute little forest babies for nature journals. So cute. And then I found these because I picked them up. They're decals, so you can kind of do anything with them or attach them any way you want. I have an unfinished journal that has a couple of them that have kind of an ambassador travel guy theme. So there's that. Pick these up because I'm slowly collecting strawberry things. I have quite a few things I've found now, and then these are just pretty. I thought, you know, I can use them somewhere in something. And then on to paper. No, let's do paper last because there's something else I want to show you in conjunction with the paper. So the reason I bought this is because when they're on sale at Michael's, they're on sale for $5, which is a good deal, but this one was only $3.59. They had 3. I have a bunch that I purchased prior, and I really am trying to stick with that mint green color. I have a lot of accessories in here with that mint green color, but the 2 with the mint green didn't seal properly, and this one with the hot pink, both of these tabs seal. In here, oh, that reminds me, little menu planner grocery list thing, making cute little, you know, cute things to tuck into pockets and lists and all kinds of fun stuff. So I grabbed that. It doesn't have to be a grocery list. I mean, it says that, but it could be anything because it literally just says the week of. You can make a list. So that'll be good in journals. And then some of these labels because I use them when I'm packaging stuff up. So very nice to have those. I found these gold foil swan seals. Aren't they pretty? This would be pretty in something. Don't know what yet, but something. Found some Christmas envelopes, and I had forgotten I had bought these, and I saw some Christmas envelopes somewhere else, and I passed them up. And then I was glad I did, because I was going back through this stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I got a whole huge package of Christmas envelopes. Now, some of these you saw when I was making the female adventurer journal. But I had found these all about the same time, and then I was really glad because they kind of fit that vibe and that look I was going for. So here's this weekly planner, and I think I pointed out this is perforated. So here's your to-do list. Isn't that cool? And then it has these little screws. I could take that apart and make this into something, couldn't I? I could just unscrew it. So I don't know when this was produced. Do they ever say? They never say. I mean, obviously it's not old, but it has that look of old. Oh, 2020 from Target. Okay. looks old, right? And it's got the ivory. And then I found this, and Pam Vanny has some of these. She puts hers in journals, and I saw this, and I was like, these are so cool, you know, because they just add interest, and it's a nice background color. It's not white. And also, I might have to snag a few for myself when I go packing, you know, for trips. 2006. That's those. And then this one, there's no date on it. I'm pretty sure it's reproduction, but it's reproduction definitely from the 30s because it has that whole vibe. And you saw me use these in that journal too. I just love. Aren't they the cutest? So the way this is constructed, and it's got the marbling here, and then the back, you know, I don't know. I'm sure it's reproduction, but it looks like it's from the 30s, so it fit that vibe that I was going for. Here's the matte paper for scrapbooks. I was thinking of it because a lot of ladies print their digitals on photo paper. Either way, I'll find a way to use it for scrapbooks or for journals. So I picked that up. This one was $1.39. I don't see the matte very often, so I wanted to snag it. I'm gonna toss all these in here really fast. What do we have left? Okay, yes, segue. Scrapbook papers. This one came in a bundle. Haven't even really looked through it. Thought I'd do it with you guys. So this one has some corrugated cardboard, which I've been dying to tell you. Remember when we did our remodel last year? 2021. Yeah, we did our remodel. So our contractor grew up in Gresham, which is right outside of Portland, Oregon. And so if you know anything about that area, lots of trees, lots of lumber industry and paper pulp. Sometimes when you go over there, the air reeks. It smells like rotted potatoes, and it's the paper mills going. Usually in the fall, you get that stinky smell. So because he worked there for so long, he knows all about cardboard and boxes and manufacturing. Very interesting, but he told me something that I think might just shake up the whole craft industry. This, we call it corrugated cardboard, and then we have our chipboard that's usually can be found on the back of a paper pad or whatever, like this stuff. The thicker, very thick, we call it chipboard. He says this is called cardboard in the industry, and this is just referred to as corrugated. So now you have some knowledge that is going to completely change your life, I'm sure of it. So this is corrugated, and that is cardboard, but I'll always call it chipboard because it's easier to remember. So really, I just took a chance on this pack. Let's see, is there more than one of those? It feels, oh yeah, there's several of those. Oh my, this damask, which I'm guessing came from Hobby Lobby. Yep. Hey, what else we got in here? Ooh, shiny red polka dot. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh yeah. Red plaid. I love my red and I love my plaid. You know I do. Cute little stags and Christmassy things. Swirlies. Oh, what are you? Oh, wait. Did I miss a pattern? I don't think so. Wow, they bought quite a few of these, so that's great because this is the kind of stuff I look for to put in journals. That's another damask, kind of like the those sacks that we buy sometimes that have that pattern on it. Glittery, like rosy pink. Cool. Wow, they spent a lot of money. And then at one point it was $1.89 each, and then they decided to bundle this up, and I think I got the whole bundle for $1.89. So that's the end of that. Found some stickers somewhere. Oh, the reuse store. So I know I can use those in something somewhere. Piece of paper, stationery, the map again. Pink polka dots because they're pretty. These came from a different place, but I stuck all my papers together. Yeah, remember when they made paper like this? And it's thicker. This is my scrapbook paper. It was almost a light cardstock weight. Yeah, I have a lot of that in my first daughter's baby book, that kind of thing. So that's been around for a while. Found these stickers because stickers, you can always use alphabets. 99 cents. And I like, look, it's got a little tiny polka dot. Scraps. These all came from a youth ranch, this whole pile here. So I think she knocked down the price for me. I hope she did. Angels, because I have a bunch of angel stuff now. My mom left me a pile of stuff, didn't tell me what it was for, and just randomly left it at my house. It took me a while. I thought it was hers, and so I was like, do you want this back? Turned out it was for me. It was like old wrapping papers and things. Got these because they're really cool on both sides, a little bit decorated. And I love the lemon. It's a very nice botanical or cooking or whatever. You know, it's got that wood grain look. I only grabbed a few. They had big stacks of them. Red cardstock, because you always need red. At least I do. Seems like red is the one I never ever have. I'll show you that in a sec. Scraps. I just got these because I'm doing all those Roxy's weekly creations, and I thought these would be nice to just, you know, have generic. This one, pretty pink. Well, I'll show you that in a sec. And then some stripy ones that just look cute. And I like these because they're double-sided. Although all the ones I find seem to look like baby boys. Baby boy albums. Yeah, there's that one. But I do like this brand because they're always double-sided. And trying to find double-sided paper, you know, so that you have something in your journal that's interesting on both sides it's a boon when you find doubles. So I've got this, kind of a neutral, and this one, it has some gold in it. Isn't that pretty? It's just all by itself. That's a cardstock. I don't know who Daisy D's is or how people were purchasing it, but I see a lot of this brand in their thrift stores now, so I don't know. Don't know where that came from. Then I found these. These are at the reuse store. It said 50 cents each, but I think I paid 50 cents for the whole pack. And then they have these really pretty designs on them. And I know for a fact that when you buy them at the scrapbook store, in the scrapbook section, they're like $1 something a piece, maybe more. But I got it for that because I like the papers that are like mulberry papers or have that handmade paper look. I also got this because this has nursery rhymes, and I still have Mother Goose journals to make, so I thought that was pretty. And then at the reuse store, one of the ladies there, I connected with her, a really nice lady. She turned me on to another guy called Seth Apta, and I need to go out to his YouTube channel, but she watches him a lot, so I'm gonna go check him out. But she makes her own handmade paper, so I said I wanted to check it out and see it. So she walked me, she said, did you see it? I'm like, no. So she walked me over, but she makes it at home. So I was talking to her about junk journals, and then there was another sweet young lady there next to me, Mina. So I think Deborah was this lady's name. I'm sorry, Deborah, if that wasn't your name. And Mina was buying huge things of fabric because she likes to do fabric textile art. She was very young. She was the cutest little thing. So I was telling him all about junk journals and gave him my card and told him, you know, anyway, got some new people interested in junk journals. But Deborah walked me over to her handmade paper section. So she has made these herself. And then she does this at home and then brings them in and sells them in little packs. So isn't this cool? I just love this look. So as I enter my botanical period of creating, I will definitely be having lots of lovely handmade papers, and also these little scrippy scraps are great for layering when you're doing tags and journal cards. So, like, you know, she's making this herself, most of it. Isn't that cool? I'm all about supporting local artists by local friends. Anyway, there's that. Showing you some stamps, punches I found. Graduation PSX stamp with a poinsettia. I'm always looking for poinsettia, pretty ones. I don't have a leaf. Unbelievable. These are all stamps that I have found, and I took all the tags off of them before we started this. Aren't you glad for that? I'm going to do some label stamping very soon, and I like this one. Nice label. This one, these come from all over the place too. I didn't buy these all in the same place. This one I purchased because I liked the birds, and I know I have looked at this one online. Sorry, I'm out of frame. I have looked at this design online. So they had that paired with this in the box, I guess because of the birds. But this stamp actually goes with this stamp. And I have eyeballed these, like on eBay and stuff, and not purchased them. So I know for a fact that these two go together. They're both PSX, Personal Stamp Exchange from the 80s and 90s. Which no longer exists. Very sad. We miss you, PSX. Another small one with a flower. This is a reproduction of a PSX, and I may actually have the PSX stamp of this. I'm not sure, but I always like it. If I do, I'll offer that one up. This one, reindeer. Why do I not ever have a reindeer stamp? You know what else I didn't have? A small barn stamp. Here's another, Jesus Loves You. I know this one's from Dots, I think. Nope, Stampin' Up. So I have this one and this. Especially, I was thinking like for my kids' albums. It's very Eastery to me. This one I bought for texture, like you can put in the background instead of speckle spots. This is another frame stamp. And then I bought this to go on my kitchen cabinet because I always like, did I buy this one for the kitchen or for my remotes to sit in the drawer? Regardless, these are the nice heavy duty ones. I would have preferred white, but the white ones didn't look good. And then I also found one of these Vivid stamp pads in taupe. This one has not been opened. And I used to use these all the time, and the Vivid is a nice permanent ink. I think you can color with it, but I'm not going to be doing that, so that doesn't matter. But I like the color, the taupe. I like the small size. I know Vivid is a good brand. And I found these mini brads yesterday in pretty colors. Look at that. Brads are another thing getting hard to find. Let's see, what do we have left? Oh, more Coca-Cola Santa playing cards, because this is one of those things I couldn't stop myself. I have a set of these. I put them up at Christmas time. Currently I have 6. Well, now there will be 8 in the set. So, okay. So, the other thing that I found a lot of at the reuse market. Now, I am making a big mess. Again, I have to put all this away at the end. What was I thinking? Wallpaper. I love using wallpaper. Oh, also, I found this. This was wrapped up, but I got it out for another use. This is tissue paper. And it has that beautiful botanical look. Isn't that pretty? For like making pockets or pages or anything we want. It's a whole roll. And I got it for like $1.89 or something. But like I said, I had to open it for something else yesterday. Okay, so I have this. And the reason I got this one is because I actually have the same pattern in the small, 3-inch wide. Pretty sure it's the small, not the big. If I have it in the big, you'll be seeing this in my shop as well. I found this one. Isn't it pretty? Really pretty. Love the colors. Love the artwork. I really, again, there's that color combination. So pretty. This is me. This is my house from the 90s. This will probably be my house going forward. I just love it. And then this one was closed. I'm back. I got it undone. It does have pheasants. Oh, how pretty. Oh my goodness. So growing up, we had a field right next to our house. We weren't out in the country per se, but we were on the edge of the city limits. We used to have pheasants come wandering through our yard, especially the mama, and she'd bring the hens through. We had a chain link fence that divided us from the field of weeds next door. And they would come wandering through our yard and hang out. We would throw out corn sometimes. So I'm very fond of pheasants because now that the city's grown up, you never see them unless you're out in the country. And I always recognize their call. It's very distinctive, which I could not even begin to imitate, so I don't try. Just sound like an idiot if I did. Anyway, I love that. I love the colors. I could tell it was going to be something pretty. This one, okay, so I opened the package, but I didn't do the tape. I just thought this one looked interesting. It's got a series of, looks like it's all outhouses. This one is the old back house, behind the house and down the lane. They all have names. Memories to keep me company. That's a cute one. Like this is, you did this for your outhouse. People wouldn't be leaving it soon. You know, like the modern theory of how you don't make the bathroom attractive because you want your customers not to hang out in there. That dear old country landmark. And are we back? Yep, back to the old back house. I thought at first it said bathhouse, but it's back house. So these are all outhouses. Oh my goodness, how stinking cute. Cute, cute, cute. And then wallpaper. Wallpaper. And I took the thingy off of this because I rolled this one up. I don't know why, but they didn't roll up a lot of these other ones. It's very similar. See? Cool. So I got a big stack of different wallpapers. while I thumb through there, I will tell you something very interesting. Let me scoot these. Something very interesting that the nice lady at the reuse market told me, and that was that the Idaho Reuse Market was started by the Decorators Association. So I don't know if this is, if all of the reuse markets around the land were started that way or not. But anyway, she gave me some really good info because she volunteers for them as well. And so I had asked her about wallpaper books, and she said once a year in the spring, like April-ish, the Idaho Decorators Association has a big warehouse sale. And then after that's over, they bring in the wallpaper books. Although, that being said, I may not need wallpaper books because I got a stack. This is just a little strip. That's all it was. Isn't that cute? They asked me if I'd counted, and I said no. I was hoping you would just name a price for me. Kind of got, well, it wasn't really a dirty look. It was like more like an eye roll from the other lady behind the counter. But I was like, I was hoping since I was taking so many, you would just name me a price. Because I think they were 15 cents individually or 20 cents. Anyway, I don't know. There's a lot. So I just picked colors and styles that I knew I would like and use. And I love using them for pages. So this is what really got me started in telling her and the other gal about junk journals. It's because they were going through my stack of wallpapers. I said, I love using them as book pages in my journals. These are all really nice and they're very neutral. And they're not so shiny. There's a few of them that are. Aren't these the coolest? So if I ever get a wallpaper book, I can share stuff with you. So we'll see if I'm ever lucky enough to do that. This one, look at that. It's got the crackle finish. Cool. There's that one. Very farmhousey looking. That might go in my little red hen journal that I keep talking about and still haven't made. And then these make me think of like 80s, you know, 80s beach house. And then here's the 90s vintage stripe. But they're all pretty. They're all so pretty. And I just picked up colors and patterns I thought I would like. So these two, I think, are different. Are they different? Yeah, that has a blue and a red stripe and a green and a red stripe. So this could be like Christmas too. And then this one is the green and the red, but with a different, it looks like a weave, you know, but same colors. And then this, because this here too was how my house was decorated in the 90s. Our old house that we remodeled. Loved it. Love this one. There's another one down below that's in red. You'll see that in a bit. That pretty. Pretty rose. All that beautifulness on the background. Yeah. So I want to talk to you guys about my new coffee account, which you are seeing linked now in my shop. And the reason I started that, well, there's several reasons. One, they don't take fees unless I decide to like buy at a certain membership level, and then they only take tops 5%. So I can offer things for sale in there without 25% of everything going to fees. And they won't charge me on my shipping. That irks me too. That's part of the amount when Etsy charges me. They charge me a fee on shipping as well. I don't understand. There you go. So I can offer freebies. I can offer like concierge services or custom kind of things. And I was thinking, I don't know. I was thinking that maybe I could offer up the service of if some of you have issues, trouble getting out to thrift stores, or maybe don't have any in your area or what have you, that I could offer up the option for me to go looking and assemble specified journal packs for you. And usually I shop through my stash first and then I go looking. And then I would just do it for a fee, and that would be like a specialty service I could offer through there, because on Etsy you can't offer anything for free. You can't offer a specialty service. Now, if I direct people to that site from my Etsy, that's kind of in violation of policy. So I really want to push it here and then start slowly moving my products over to my coffee account, K-O-F-I. And then also, if you like my content and you're looking for a way to support me without spending a bundle, or you don't want to order something necessarily and pay for shipping, you can just give me a tip. And while I feel really awkward about money and asking for money, I feel like I'm begging. It's also a very nice way to have, it's kind of like a Patreon where you can pay your creator for the things that they do. But I'm not against that. I think that's great. And then my amount, they recommended $5. I dropped it down to $2 because I feel like a tip is, you know, not a huge expense. And also, if you're going to buy me a coffee, I only drink basic coffee with creamer in it. Good coffee, but not fancy coffee. So my coffees don't usually cost very much. So anyway, so I want you to check that out. And if you want to buy me a coffee, you can do that. Now, there is a way here on YouTube, and I did sign up for it. Like, you can give a super thanks. So if it's easier for you to do that through YouTube, you certainly can. But the reason I'm switching to coffee is because I'm looking for options to Etsy. They won't charge me fees on everything I list. They'll collect sales tax for me, so I don't think that will be a problem. And I'm not sure about how their shipping is set up. Anyway, I'm getting that site set up and I want to offer more things through there and start directing you guys there. I think that's going to be my best option, but then I can also offer things for free, like digital downloads. I don't do a lot of those, but I could. I have a lot of things I've scanned, like my embroidery pieces and vintage Christmas cards and things like that, that I could definitely offer for free. And then we have some old things in our family that, like, oh, I should just show you. Okay. So one of the things I've really been wanting to scan and offer is a ledger. And this is not just any ledger. You know how we love our vintage ledgers, and everyone's like trying to find them. If you're on the East Coast or down south, there seem to be a lot of them. Not so many out here in Idaho. I will never tear this up, and here's why. This belonged to my husband's grandfather. He was born and raised, where is he raised? Mount Pleasant, Ohio. And then he met and married somewhere in there. I don't know how they met. A nice young lady who grew up in Clyde, Kansas. And they were married on January 1st of 1900. Easy to remember, 1/1/1900. He was, now this predates 1900, so I can only assume he was doing this earlier. Then, sometime within the following year, they moved to a place called Mosca, Colorado, where his grandfather was a shopkeeper. He was also like a justice of the peace, which apparently he didn't need a law degree for that at that point, and was active in the town. This is Walter's ledger. One of his ledgers. It's one of, like, we only have a couple. This one has all the writing in it. I would love to scan this. They're all accounts for like groceries and stuff. But this is my husband's grandfather's handwriting from the 1890s. I would never tear this up in a million years, but I will scan it. So this is one of the things that I thought, oh, I got my Amazon orders in there. I think I did that because I wanted to mark this page for something. Yeah, see, I've tried to, look at that. From the 1930s. So this would be for his dad or his brother. Tom's dad or his brother, probably. Let's see what's on the back. Look at, we're finding treasures. I wonder if these are like games for a shower. Initiation, caps and lines on faces. Consequences, pin patch on the pants, hang socks on line. Sew buttons, that's for the men only. A Bible game, Ardith is doing that. I don't know who Ardith was. Spin the pan. For partners, girls throw their shoes in the middle and boys match them. Maybe this was a graduation game. I don't know. Somebody was writing a list. Oh my gosh, how fun. Okay, anyway, list of things to do at your graduation party, apparently. So I think Tom's dad is the one that would have graduated in the 30s, because Bert was born in 1905, so he would have graduated in the 20s. His dad was born in 1911, so he would have graduated in the 30s. I didn't know he was part of the Athletic Association. Or maybe, did one of the sisters work at the school and just snag this and wrote a list on it? I don't know. Anyway, cool, right? That's Walter's ledger, so that's what I'd like to offer for free. Now, I would love to show you the books that I found for myself, but we are way out of time. I think I've shown you everything, you know? And you can only absorb so much of a thrift haul. Yeah, So that's it for the day. Let me know what you think about offering up a service where I basically do your shopping for you and assemble a themed journal kit for you. It's a consignment essentially, or a custom order kind of thing. But I do want to start offering more things on the coffee account, and then I can give you guys little fun things that I cannot do on Etsy. And yeah, so it would be my alternative. I have a really good feeling about it. So let me know what you think. Would you guys be willing to do that? And how do you feel about creators asking for tips and donations to help support their channel or support their business? I always feel like it smacks of begging, and so I've never really done that. But it does provide you a way to just, hey, I want to give you a couple bucks because I appreciate you. Okay. Like I said, there's also a thing underneath my channel called Super Things, or it's supposed to be. There's like a heart. And you're supposed to be able to do that there too. But I keep looking and I don't see it, even though it's been enabled on my channel. So coffee, you could do that. And it's always now going to be permanent in the links below. So while we're at it, thumbs up, subscribe yet if you haven't. Keep an eye out. Maybe you'll find some really cool stuff like some of this when you're out and about. Tell me some of your more recent fun thrift finds. Now I'm going to read you a little poem, I think. I gotta find the right one. Hold on. Yeah, so the reason I am wanting to offer that is because I recently was contacted by 2 different people separately, and they were both asking me the same thing out of the blue. And so I don't know if that's just an indicator of a direction I should be going with my shop, or if it was just kind of a one-off. So that's why I'm asking the question. Okay, we have some Helen Steiner Rice poetry to read today. It says, the happiness you give away returns to shine on you. The more of everything you share, the more you'll always have to spare, for only what you give away enriches you from day to day. It's true, abundance mentality. The more you give, the more you receive back. Instead of a scarcity mindset, have a mindset of abundance, because it really does enrich your life, and it is true. The more you give away, the more you get back. I always put little check marks so I can remember that I've read them. All right, so we may read, I'm going to bookmark this next one because that'd be a good one for another time, but not today. All right, so that's from Somebody Loves You by Helen Steiner Rice. Another great way to add fun pages to your journals. So that's it for today. Till next time, be inspired, do something creative today. I will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye now. Oh, I didn't show you my collection of books for me. We're going to segue first. Remember when we did our remodel last year in 2021? 2021, 2022? What year did we just finish? Here's the tricky part. Why they do this to us, I'll never know. Why am I paying for product I can't use, people? Oh dear.